live through that Winter's Curse or through the single target focus of a Phantom Lancer. Going to be a still. There wasn't a whole lot of Battle Fury here left because they holds on to his Blink for now. But it's a big win. March, he now coming in actually very fast. He's going to lay out the Tombstone. He might be able to get the first blood here in the bottom lane. Going for solo. Here comes the last couple of right clicks from KP. They managed to get that cold embrace, but the magic damage is still going to be there. And solo will end up falling for the first blood. March takes that one. And they even push back both Pasha and Sayumith Slayer.
Yeah, they've done a good job with the rotations. March realizes in that top lane he's not really needed. But at the same time, Vega, this is a pretty advantageous lane for them because the Darkseer has been relatively unopposed this entire time. He's got 11 CS to start the game. It's not as though a Dazzle is the best support at solo harassing anybody down. And so the laning phase is going to go pretty well for Vega as at bottom. Febi's going to be the target here as he goes down.
Easily cleaned up. March now is going to be the next target of Vega Squadron. Look at that. Pasha trying to go for the body block, but March just proves to be too tanky of a target when he's able to steal multiple decays. This could actually just win them the laning phase straight up if Febby manages to snatch it. Leading with one, another right click will be able to get it. Meanwhile, QO
he's in there
for no one. He's actually trapped out. QO trying to get up. Nice block with the ice shards. And they will be able to get some damage now into QO. He needs a jump, but won't be able to get out. The cooldown was still there. And while they do take away that double bottle for 3 minutes, QO with the dive there onto no one. Gets a bit too aggressive and get caught out by the toss. Now the top lane Mag is going to be the next target, but Surge level 2 being invested in means that the Darkseer will have enough haste time to get out of there.
Yeah, even
Udagras crit and be able to take out the Queen of Pain, which would be a huge upset. So he's got to be really careful with his HP and how low he drops. Now the bottom lane, they're going to try and go on this Undying. Lays out the Tombstone, but it looks like there is still enough damage. Stormspear's going to come in big, but there is still the Doppelganger to make sure the Undying goes down. The Tombstone is still up though, and that means Solo is surrounded by zombies, plus a Stormspear. Now with the Dazzle joining it. An easy counter kill there. 1-for-1 trade-off.
Yeah, you did have to rotate 3
way. He's able to get that Orchid before the Queen of Pain potentially, but Mass TP's coming up. Already the Tombstone laid out. They go for the back. Warnuts is able to get off the Shell Grave, and now no one is going to be turned around on, but there's just not enough magic damage in the pool. No one doesn't have a blink quite yet. Another 5 seconds. KP, the last couple of right clicks. Zombies chasing him down. They will be able to get the kill. The Tombstone finally dies. QO making the reintroduction as he tries to jump in and get some kills. Febby blocked out by beautiful ice shards. Will be the next casualty of MVP Phoenix. They try and make their way out of this one. Stormspear zipping through that one. QO realizing he's not going to be able to make his way out. No, he does. He actually jumps over the Stormspear. Still being pursued out. The Lance comes in, finishes them off for a double kill on Pasha. And now KP, with very little mana left, is going to be run down by Pasha, who has the Ion Shell on top of him. TP rotations coming in, but it's just not going to be in time. A big win for Vega Squadron as they take control of the first team fight.
A beautiful fight by Vega from start to finish. The Queen of Pain just self-sacrifices herself, blinks forward, is saved by the cold embrace for such a long time, and there just wasn't enough damage from MVP, and this is the issue right now, is that, yeah, you've got an Undying.
They already smoke up and are ready for the defense. Question is, who's going to come out on top in this team fight? The Queen of Pain could get a really big entrance here. Already the dust getting laid out. There goes the Tombstone. Winter's Curse back him up and really controlling QO as he gets popped. Warnuts now gets off the Shell Grave the last half second, but it already seems to be a lost fight for MVP. The only hope is KP is able to pick up at least one kill. Gets it on the Winter Wyvern, but now trying to make his escape, but is completely out of mana, sort of trapped. 3 heroes go down from MVP Phoenix, and that Roshan is left with only 3k HP. It seems like Vega Squadron can actually take that for themselves.
Control is the difference in net worth. It's starting to climb.
That second Oblivion staff is on the way for the Storm Spirit, but the Orchid's still not ready to go, and may provide enough disincentive for MVP not to go in, but never mind. They already jump on a solo, try to finish him off immediately. A couple of crits, and they might be able to get it, but no. The Winter's Curse gets laid out. Yes, the Winter Wyvern's down, but a really good snowball sets everything up with a Sonic Wave on top, and MVP Phoenix just crumble under the pressure of Vega Squadron as they go through 3 heroes and are now well set up to take that Tier 1 tower. They kept Pasha alive. They kept the Darkseer alive as well. It seems these heroes are just spiraling out of control as they now take this Tier 1 tower and maybe even put pressure on the Tier 2 as well.
It was a really good idea by MVP Phoenix. What they were trying to do is immediately pop solo as fast as he can so he can't get that cold embrace or that Winter's Curse off, but they just didn't have enough damage. They don't really have any magical nuke damage if you look at their lineup, and so as soon as he got that cold aggressively, like if you noticed on the side of MVP. They knew when the Roshan was going to go down, and so they counted it out and said, let's look for a fight. But at the same time,
no one. He's actually jumped in. That leaves QO a perfect opportunity to be able to jump in, but no, the Cold Embrace is now going to stop it. Now the Cold and the Winter's Curse on QO controls him, and the blink away from our Queen of Pain is going to be able to get him out. KP trying to jump in, but rapidly running out of mana as the Diffusal Blade is just too much to handle. QO goes down, and Warnuts being pursued out by Pasha, throws out that Purge and will be able to get the kill on the support quite easily. 2 down from MVP Phoenix is Vega Squadron march right uphill.
Yeah, as I was saying, Vega, they knew the Aegis was about to expire, and Phoenix did too, and so they said, okay, we have to go for something right now. This is the timing. We have a BKB, we have an Orchid. There's not a whole lot else that we're going to get that's going to change the fortune of this game. Yep. But at the same time, Vega knew that it was coming. They're like, okay, the Aegis is about to expire. Let's just 5-man group because we know they're going to run into us. And so that fight, it doesn't go as planned, and Vega marching down. They're going to take the racks down as 2 heroes are still dead for MVP, and Vega just not allowing the Bounty Hunter track to make any sort of impact this game.
Yeah, without a single one team fight here. Now they're actually going to be able to grab Zayo the Slayer, but again, the Cold Embrace is there, and KP is completely out of mana. The Tombstone is laid out. The zombies attempting to slow down the retreat of Vega Squadron. QO now jumping onto Zayo the Slayer. Needs a couple more, but the snowball goes off. That's going to delay his death significantly. He still is going to go down. But I think Vega Squadron just managed to keep their losses to only 1 hero, which is quite significant. Needs to push out before they can actually get to that Roshan pit.
Yeah, I think KP actually has to just YOLO for this and go for it. Because even if you're wrong, okay, he's a little bit too late, but even if you're wrong, you have to at least try to prevent it. No one blinks in.
That was not the play. Blink forward and miss. Immediately taken out. Oh, what a great vacuum into the Winter's Curse, controlling everyone. MVP Phoenix got a great pick off, but are now in serious trouble as now the Phantom Blades at the back is able to clean through a couple more heroes. 4 down, and QO on the run. He's going to try and buy a TP scroll from the side shot, but it's on cooldown. He can't even get back to his own base. MVP Phoenix are left with no defense now, as the middle lane is already pushed in, and Vega Squadron will go straight for that bottom lane of racks.
All right, when you hear about those combos, you know, the vacuum into this, into this, into this, it's rare that you actually see it pan out. But in this instance, like 3 times this game, we've seen the Winter's Curse into vacuum. We even saw the Shiva's Guard there get popped off. The only thing missing was the Queen of Pain ultimate. You lose the Queen of Pain instantly, and sitting back inside their base, they're going to try and get the jump on Vega Squadron here. They have to wait for the BKB though on QO. It's got 4 seconds left. He's going to throw the dagger out and
jumps out now, Sonic Wave. QO already dropping quite low. The Shadow Grave goes off just in time. He now addresses, but the Winter's Curse laid out. No one is just standing in the middle of all of this one. Beast Solo is now dropping quite low, but the Cold Embrace kept him alive. MVP Phoenix have already dropped a few. QO is coming back for vengeance. Life number 2, but still can't grab anybody. Vega Squadron are managing to dodge all of this one, and MVP Phoenix actually call GG halfway through the fight because they can see the writing on the wall. Vega Squadron are just outplaying them every step of the way in these team fights, and not much hope for them in game number 1.
Yeah, if you're MVP Phoenix, I mean, that's clearly not how you wanted the game to go, but I think this was more of a drafting thing than anything. You saw the Cold Embrace pay off against a team that had almost no magic damage, and you saw a Phantom Lancer just go to work on a team that had very little to deal with.
And manage to get, you know, multiple decays off and really good tombstone. He can actually fall pretty quickly, right? So Vega Squadron actually now this one out. They could still get the kill on Mag as Febby rotates around. He's gonna find Mag soon. He realizes he needs to let March first. Oh, they see him now, and now Mag is completely stuck up against both Febby and March, and Mag should be our first blood. No opportunity to be able to get the counter kill on Febby. Nice cog. He actually might be able to. No, unfortunately, he's still stuck here, so he heals up a little bit. March just patiently waits it out, and now with Febby rejoining him with the tether, Mag should be going down here with the next Quill Spray, and there it is. Your first blood is taken. MVP Phoenix. I like how they really didn't give up on that kill. They knew the clockwork was somewhere, and Febby did spy out that one tree that went down.
Yeah, and at the same time, Solo is spotted out by that Earthshaker, and so you're going to see the Razor in response head over here, and this is actually going to mean a death for Solo as he's going to get blocked off, nowhere to go. His team isn't nearby close enough. KP's draining so much damage right now, and this might mean a second kill, but the double Ember
chains. Oh, the chains, but he's blocked by Sam and the Slayer.
And he had Crave up.
He was supposed to be the healer. He was supposed to be the factor that saved our poor...
Is actually going to make rotations around the map, but we've already seen him get invaded in his own jungle once, in the enemy jungle once, and you got to see a TP come up that top, and Solo has to come up huge. Maybe they just get away with Febby right now.
Yeah, Febby managed to make the long tether away, but no one is still there to finish him off. Now, MVP March is going to try and get himself out of this sticky situation. Doesn't look like no one's really going to be able to pursue. March will be able to tag up with both Warnuts and QO from the middle lane, so no addition is taking a lead over the enemy supports.
Yeah, that's just kind of what you expect out of the Enigma, right? Because he's naturally has a farm mechanic and a top. They are going to go for March right now. There's no backup for him at the same time.
Oh, he came in with the tether, but it's also going to be caught by the black hole with the overwhelming amount of damage.
Oh, the Bristle turnaround!
QO, he's going to try and go for the last hit. Oh, he managed to get the Bristle back, but Queen of Pain still dies. QO now trying to hunt for that last kill on Solo, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch up. Vega Squadron thought they had that one in the bag, but all the damage to the back of the Bristleback procs multiple spines, and combined with the QO AoE damage of Dragon Slave. This rune is well set up for a good Sonic Wave. The question is, do they actually have enough damage? March has already taken some. Mag comes in, goes straight for KP, managed to land that hook shot. KP dropping low. Nice Fisher actually stops the Sonic Wave, but it still comes out, finishing off that. Oh, nice Laguna Blade in order to get the clockwork there. 1-for-1 trade-off so far. But the rest of Vega Squadron seems to be backing up. They take that deny on the tower and will accept the 1-for-1 trade-off. There's to get, which also maybe sets them up to take this tier 1 tower, but as I say that, March...
he's just a wall.
Yeah, he really
just doesn't move. He just continues to chase them.
They managed to have the Wisp. He's actually making the relocate play, but they already have the black hole on top of that. No one, he doesn't have the AoE damage to be able to finish off these heroes, and that means Warnuts gets off the Echo Slam before he dies. Solo, though, with the Shallow Grave is going to try and make the TP out. Does manage to get away. Ember Spirit bounces back, but is being pursued out by March. The Cogs will push back some of the MVP Phoenix. Pasha just needs to stay ahead of March, but the slowdown damage a little bit more, and the Quills is enough to be able to get him. KP, though, dropping lower and lower to mag with the Blade Mail as well as the Battery Assault to manage to pick up that one kill. The true test, though, of the Bristleback is here. He's fighting up against 3 underneath a tier 2 tower, and he just doesn't seem to care. He's going to go for Salmon Slayer, easily getting that one. He's dropping lower and lower, but now turns to fight no one. Look at the right click damage is there, but he now is going to be kited around by the Malphus and finally will go down. QO comes in. He's got the Laguna Blade ready to go. He just needs some vision, but he won't be able to see anybody. Now turns to go for Solo. The Sonic Wave comes out. No one. He couldn't finish off either one. Febby now heals up QO. They'll go for the additional kill on Solo. Gets him. QO.
No one
stunned up
back.
by the Malphus. No one with the buyback will be able to finish up 2. Mag making sure there's no escape for MVP Phoenix as they perhaps overextend themselves in that tier 2 tower.
That was like a 10-person trade with no one buying back there and making that fight okay for Vega, because you can't let the Wisp and the Lina get out. That would just be highway robbery. You walk in, buy a tier 2 tower, pick up 2 kills, you have to punish for that. Tell MVP that's not okay. Gonna anticipate this because they don't have any ward vision right now, and
Solo first to be revealed. March is already on the front lines, is now going to try and make his way back. Of course, the pass is going to make it difficult. Already, there goes the black hole. Managed to lock down both March and QO, the Sonic Wave, and the combination out from no one. Almost finished off one hero, but now the Laguna Blade gets laid out. No one's still able to make the blink away. There goes that Aegis of Lina, but she's going to be coming back soon into a Clockwork Cog pushback. Meanwhile, the Queen of Pain continues her march forward, but the Razor's found her and managed to get him with the static field. Ember Spirit at the same time trying to make the jump away. Light Strike Array, QO hoping to be able to predict that jump, but Pasha just moves his way left, while Mag, another great 4-staff over the cliff. Pasha gets out as he uses Remnant in order to jump away. No, the Remnant's actually maybe going to put him in some trouble as MVP continue to try and go for him with the relocate, chasing him underneath the tier 3 tower. Mag, who makes the TP in, had the Invis rune to be able to help him out, so MVP Phoenix just couldn't quite seem to get their hands on any one big kill. All they got was the Queen of Pain, but at the same time, they didn't lose anything too important, and will now try and take out this tier 3 tower. Vega Squadron desperate to be able to stop this one, start spamming out wherever they can, but without a Queen of Pain, there's just nowhere near enough damage.
Yeah, and March knows that there's no black hole. They've used the Midnight Pulse on the ground. There's no Queen of Pain. And everybody from MVP look like they're in decent fighting shape. KP is getting quite low, but he's pretty much the bait. And with that mech, all right,
Now he gets healed up straight to full. And
right.
MVP Phoenix continue to focus down that melee racks. They want to get it before the Queen of Pain gets the revive. Oh, there goes the dazzle. Laguna Blade wipes him out. Vega Squadron. Now we're going to be playing a 4 versus 5 if they want to be able to punish. Hookshot misses, but a Sonic Wave. It hits on 4, takes out 1. 2 now as the Whis ends up going down. Pasha hoping to be able to get more, but the lead is just too far out now. And Echo Slam puts a stop to his progression. Pasha now needs to make his way out. The Queen of Pain gets another jump. March is dropping lower and lower, but he does have his back turned. It just doesn't seem to be enough. Fisher gets laid out, but still, March falls. Nuts is stuck in a trap and will be going down as well. But at the very least, QO survives, and a lane of rags by 23 minutes is still a huge victory for MVP Phoenix. Can catch multiple heroes to start the fight, so MVP Phoenix are not going to try and risk it going for Roshan, perhaps going for the smarter play and focusing on the bottom lane. Already, the Invis hero solo jumping forward, he's got the BKB, he needs this one, goes for the black hole, only catching March, and now Febby is left to be able to get a potential relocate, but he needs to use it soon. The mech goes off, and they do manage to keep their BKB alive. March is going through hero after hero, Solo's just hoping to be able to get something. He does get one before he goes down. At the same time, the Bristol in the back now cleaned up by Pasha, who's going to jump forward for another one. The buyback for the Queen of Pain seems to be working out, but a nice relocate save out from Febby. He held on to that one for a while, chose not to try and use it for the bristleback. Seemed to be the right play in the end, saves the Razor instead.
But at the same time, what a fight by Vega. Able to instantly blow up the Lina before she's able to cast a single spell.
Don't tell me. Febby, is he going to get out of here? Oh, no. The Glimmer Cape walk away and TP out. Vega Squadron were stumped on that one.
Yeah, but they are going to get the Roshan on the back of this, and this is how Vega comes back into the fight, because Pasha, during that entire team fight, was relatively uncontested. Just
black hole available for another 40 seconds. Vega Squadron, they were kind of smoked up looking for that initiation. They're just hoping to be able to spam MVP Phoenix back, but a second later Rax is not what they can afford to give up, and that's why they make the jump. KP already dropping low enough from that Sonic Wave. March is also quite low, but Febby on the front lines with the Glimmer Cape seems to be doing quite all right. Vega Squadron are now going to return for some damage, manage to get QO, and the melee Rax stays alive. This is incredibly important, and now they're going to be able to find multiple heroes. Febby goes down. March is completely caught out. He just turns around, goes straight for Solo, but he can't possibly get him. He's just going to be kite around. He goes down as well. MVP Phoenix are rapidly losing control of this game as they attempt once again to suicide for that bottom lane.
Yeah.
The Yule Scepter into a Light Strike array, which presumably is going to be dodged by Remnant Jump. Another attempt here as we are going to go for March. Febby is going to make the relocate play over. Oh, now actually getting caught out by the black hole. He's not going to be making out of here alive. Febby's going to go down March. He's getting a lot of Quill Spray damage onto Solo, but it's just not going to be enough. QO actually finishes off Solo. Meanwhile, the jump forward, Echo Slam onto just one. Mag will go down. Oh, that Sleight of Fist, though. So much damage for the Sleight of Fist. Managing to bring so many heroes low, but they do have the Sonic Wave. Now the Light Strike array misses out. Pasha managed to get away from that one. And MVP Phoenix on the verge of being able to win a fight. Unfortunately, a big Sleight of Fist brings them all low enough that it draws even at a 3-for-3 trade-off.
Yeah, and Pasha, I mean, that one was close.
Has a lot of gold on him. 5,200, he's got a drums that he's already used up. I'm presuming you switch out the drums for a Scotty, or well, actually, he's got a bottle, so he's going to switch that one out perhaps for the Scotty. But what? Oh, he's been locked out by a bash. This could be big if they manage to pick up this kill, but he managed to get the blink away to Shallow Grave. He's also there in time to be able to save him. Pasha continues to move forward, hoping to be able to get the Razor.
They need to kill Pasha right now.
Down now, but he jumps off to the Remnant to the side. Mag is going to go down to QO. At the very least, they get that one pick off, but Pasha was the big fish, and they did not secure him. Looks like Soul's going to be grabbed by QO, but never mind. They don't go for that one, realizing that Pasha was waiting in the winds. If they tried to go for it, they're going to try and trade this one up. If they get the melee racks, and will trade that one away from Roshan, I think MVP will be happy. Unfortunately, the glyph is there, and MVP, they're going to have to relocate back, it seems like, without this one. Melee racks drops to about half HP. But it will start regenning up now. So big win there for Vega Squadron, especially if they can still catch out a couple of MVP members. Looks like the Light Strike Ray is going to land on no one, but Black Hole managed to grab QO before the Laguna Blade. They get that one kill, another one for Pasha.
Yeah, I think the attempt by QO was there, and it was a good one, but everybody from Vega.
And in the meantime, spent some spend some quality farming time. March is almost finished off his Abyssal. He's got 3,500 TP in. He could be in some serious troubles. Now Pasha joins in. The big damage dealer is here. March now pops his BKB. Mag is also here on the side in order to stop Febby from being able to get a good relocate, but it's still up, and he's going to make the play now. Mag comes in. Febby, no! The battery assault stopped him, and that means they will both end up falling. Vega Squadron now on the march straight through the middle lane to try and end this game 2.
Yeah, an MVP. I mean, he's been able to do it the entire time. March, just sit in the middle of the lane. He's like, I'm too tanky, but this time, with 4 heroes available and the amount of damage that Pasha's putting out with 2 Daedalus, a Scotty, and a Battle Fury, just not going to be able to live through that. And Vega finally on the offense for once, as this is the first time they're going to start hitting down these tier 3 towers in quite some time.
Buyback already used by March in order to try and defend this tier 3 tower. Solo does not have the black hole, so perhaps MVP Phoenix do have the power to push him back, but Pasha just seems to be a beast in the front lines. He's got that Aegis, and is willing to allow himself to die in order to get these buildings.
March goes down here.
March, he can't afford to go down. He's trying to get back to the fountain. Meanwhile, Pasha gets a clutch shallow crave out from the Dazzle. The Aegis is not going down just yet. Sam with the Slayer is going to go down instead. Finally, there goes our Aegis. Big Echo Slam being laid down by no one but a hook shot to stop the chain stun. Mag might just give up his life for that one. No, he actually 4 steps away. Now Pasha is in the middle of the enemy base. He's got no remedy. He can't afford to go down. He gets bashed. He ends up going down as well. MVP Phoenix draw this game out a bit long.
Oh, and they go for the relocate in this mid too, and they're putting so much pressure. They immediately force the buyback. But if March goes down,
he's going to be locked up with the hook shot. They need to be able to get the relocate out, but it's not there in time. March is down for 100 seconds. Unbelievable. They get the melee racks at the bottom lane. They put pressure on middle, but Vega Squadron have an opportunity, a full minute and a half, for them to force a fight while the bristleback is down.
They don't have the glyph anymore. This mid tower is starting to steadily go down, and the problem right now for Vega is that they didn't really get anything out of that because they had to trade a buyback of their own, and at the same time, they lost MVP Phoenix.
Yeah, they're just hoping. I think they're going to have to give up this mid lane. Rax Solo's actually going to come in. He really wants to in order to win this fight right here, right now. He's going to go for the Razor and the Wisp. They get them both. There's going to be some buybacks, but QO's down as well. Both the Razor and the Leader are being forced into a buyback. The Bristleback up in just 5 seconds. The melee Rax is going to go down soon, but oh, the Sleight of Fist coming out. Does a bit of chip damage to both QO and Kaipi, but no, they actually can't get the melee Rax, and now they're going to be caught here. QO is going to be able to get the stun up on Mag. He has no 4-stat play. There's only the Shallow Grave hook shot to the side. TP out. Does he actually get away from this one? No, the Yule Scepter is there in time. QO stops him dead in his tracks, and they get the kill in the end. 2 down on the side of Vega Squadron, and the Wisp is coming up in 25. Perhaps it's now MVP Phoenix's turn to be on the offense.
There's only 1 buyback on the side of Vega right because they can't lose anybody else.
That tier 3 tower is already so low. First bit of damage out for the Sonic Wave, and Sleight of Fist is there, but the tier 3 tower will be going down, and March still looks plenty healthy. Now their chains, they're just trying to stall this damage up as much as possible. March is down to about half HP. QO comes in, tries to go for Sam Slayer. Now the Echo Slam on
oh my God,
Pasha's knocked down. Still great to save. Pasha might just be able to get out the Remnant away. KP desperately needs that kill, but he can't get another Remnant jump out, and he is fine, but March doesn't care. He goes straight for the last tier 4 tower. MVP Phoenix. They're fighting for their lives here in the TI Wildcard Series. Pasha comes back, ready to go, ready to rumble. Sleight of Fist gets laid out on 2. Solo's coming forward, locks down KP. He is down, and he does not have a buyback. He's down for 2 minutes. The throne is completely exposed. The melee Rax is open too, but MVP Phoenix are going to be forced into yet another retreat.
And they have to get out of here right now. They can't afford to lose any more casualties. There's no real buyback situation, and even in the
threshold, that backdoor to protection is gone, and that relocate play, it could be an all-in for MVP Phoenix available. That's why Vega Squadron trying to back out, but it's too late. They've already locked out Solo. He's going to be taken out. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, March desperately trying to go for that melee Rex Mega Creeps. He really wants it, but Pasha's taking care of the rest of the enemy team inside the Radiant base. It goes for QO. Yule Scepter being blocking him down. The melee Rex stays alive inside the entire base, and Vega Squadron, if they can get away from Pasha, this will be a win, but Pasha being locked down by the Basher. March is now locked up, and Pasha will be able to get out. They keep their melee racks alive, but they're still stuck in a situation where they can't push in.
Yeah, March being able to solo hold them back from being able to win, and his buyback's about to cool down at the same time, and now Vega's in such a precarious situation because if they lose that Mega Creep, or that last melee racks, it's going to be really difficult for them to come back from this disadvantage, but Vega's going to go for their own racks right now, but I don't even think MVP are too concerned about this because what matters to them more is the fact that they're going to have buyback soon and the fact that their throne is untouched.
Yeah, the Earthshaker is up. Ooh, big critical March. He's got to be careful here. They can't afford to let him go down. Febby with the save. He's going to be there with the heals. Now no one actually gets bashed up with the BKB active, but he does manage to get the blink away. It looks like Sam and Slayer is going to be completely forfeit here. Pasha turns around, gets another good chance in order to protect his ally.
I actually think MVP just
go for this. There goes the relocate in. They're going to try and go for that melee racks. There goes the hookshot. They're trying to lock down March desperately. He's at half HP, but he pops the BKB. Going straight for the melee rack. 1, 2, 3 more. Oh, the misses! Able to get just before he dies. He picks up Megas, and he's got a buyback to be able to defend. Vega Squadron are now left with the prospect of either defending against Mega Creeps or going for the all-in.
They're pinging right now onto the throne. They're saying we have to go for this right now. There's not a whole lot of opportunities. Once those creep waves build up, it's going to be so difficult for them to hold because the only one that can reliably clear things is the Ember Spirit. This is the all-in of all-in plays because if he loses this, doesn't have a buyback whatsoever. He actually had the money.
Whoa, up against MVP Phoenix, who are fighting for their lives here in this TI tournament. Vega Squadron start going for their tier 4 towers. MVP Phoenix just trying to slow him down as much as possible. There goes the buyback out from March. Hookshot in. Oh, Mag, he perhaps is a bit too deep. Managed to get off the Laguna Blade, but Mag is still alive. March, meanwhile, trying to go for Pasha. Locked out by the Echo Slam. Pasha dropping low. It's going to be... No, he doesn't. He doesn't drop. He gets the remnant out, but the racks. The throne is exposed. They went for the relocate. Pasha trying to make the defense here.
There's too many creeps.
Going for the creeps, but no, the throne is dying. 700 HP. That's all that's left. QO desperate to be able to get this one. 200 HP. It's over. MVP Phoenix. They get game number 2, and they push it. They push it to a game 3. The only way you would see this series going is to a game number 3 between these two teams.
I don't even care who wins right now. After that game, MVP Phoenix, time and time again, they get rebuffed, eventually just outmaneuvering Vega, who puts up a brilliant fight throughout the entire game. Like, he needs at least level 3 to be able to do anything, and as long as Febby's in a good position, he should be fine. Ooh. But the Omni Knight is going to be the last pickup for MVP Phoenix, and giving up the first blood was probably more important. Right. At the same time, the mid matchup is the one that I look out for the most because we saw Kyo struggle last game, right? And Kyo is a player that, for me, is really emotional.
Febby. He needs some help here in this top lane. Pasha's last right click, he does get the first blood. A KP, they thought they could actually fight that one, but unfortunately, just as you said, the Wisp just doesn't have naturally good armor, so when it comes down to it, the Slithering Crush and right click is enough to quickly overwhelm the Wisp's HP, even with that Omni Knight heal.
Oh, and then this bottom lane right now, March is going all in to try to get the kill on Mag. He does have one more decay available. This might be enough for him to kill him, and he does. And he might even pick up the double, and he does on Febby. As Mag, a rotation from the Wisp comes down, but that's just a free kill for him.
A terrible start for MVP Phoenix as Vega Squadron now winning both their top and bottom lanes. And Mag, now with that kind of advantage, getting 2 different kills, is about to pick up his level 4. There's no way MVP Phoenix could possibly challenge that Undying again.
Yeah, and right now, the Tusk is going all in right now for Kyo. He's trying to set up for this.
Nice, he got the snowball. The power shot's gonna miss though. Oh no, now the body blocking is out from Warnuts. And that should mean that they're gonna survive the punch. The little punchling, run away. Sam with the Slayer trying to go for that one. Now the right clicks are gonna be there and Sam with the Slayer is gonna go down. He gets the courier in the very end though. So at the very least, he could say he got a trade-off. The stunt goes out, Fisher onto no one, but Kyo was not ready for that last Shadow Race. The burst damage potentially available for Vega Squadron just to be able to take out a serious core before the heals are out. Febby actually gets jump over there. Seeing the Slayer trying to get the snowball over to Kyo in order to dodge some of this damage, but he realizes he is very, very dead, especially with March now coming over. March actually has the early level of Viscous Enabled Goo, which is going to be able to slow down no one, and they actually may be able to get this kill. Quick TP out, Windranger raise, and he gets it. Nice play from Kyo.
Oh, that was such a good rotation down from MVP, forcing everybody down. I mean, March being able to sandwich that Windranger, and she doesn't actually have too much armor if you take a look at her. She's only got 3.
Good use of the courier there to be able to get the vision. Febby is going to be gone on, but he's got to tether up in a second. He needs to be able to use it now. The snowball is actually going to put Sam and Slayer in a bad position. Warnuts is here, looking for that Fisher block out. Sure enough, the Tusk will lose his TP. March is here at the same time, focusing down that Tombstone in order to make sure his allies can safely go for the Tusk. So it actually turns out to be a double win there. They not only get the kill, the bounty on the Tombstone, tombstone, but as well as the kill on the Tusk. Once again, MVP Phoenix's their very passive approach to laning phase and willing to
more stacks to go back on it, so they have to be a little bit concerned about this right now.
But perhaps he's a bit too far out. He does have a double damage, but no one, of course, has that win run. Double raise gets laid out onto him. Power shot not up for another 3 seconds. A third raid still hits no one, and Solo's actually in some trouble, but a cold embrace has baited QO perhaps into a bad position. The power shot hits him once again. Solo drops one more hit. He managed to get him, but the snowball's coming in. QO, nice shots missed. QO's going to be able to get out. No, the power shot. The sniper himself lands it, and Vega Squadron do manage to secure a 1-for-1 trade-off for that SF. They'll be happy with that, but it almost looks like they want a little bit more.
Yeah, they wanted to try to get a little bit more out of that tombstone, but gradually starts to fall behind.
MVP start going for the Wind Ranger to a Vega Squadron. Come in from the side, tombstone already being laid out. Immediately MVP try and stop it, but there goes the Winter's Curse. Snowball actually locking down QO with Walrus Punch on top of that with the repel, though. They're not able to stop that one. Big Echo Slam comes out from Warnuts in order to stop the Slaughter. They take out the tombstone as well.
Relocate
and now they're relocated. They're going to be able to get Sam with the Slayer as well. They run him down quite easily. Mag's going to fall as well. It seems like this is going to be a 3-man cleanup for MVP Phoenix. If they could just finally catch the Undying. QO trying to chase him down. Actually gives up on that one. It's going to run to no one instead, but of course he's got the win run to get himself away. So just 2, the Slaughter and the Tusk fall, but MVP Phoenix.
But Vega, this is the big fight for them because they have to win this team fight. Like, there's no way they can give up this amount of towers and lose this fight here.
Vega Squadron coming in from the side. Solo looking for that Winter's Curse and will lay it down into Febby with the power shot on top of that.
Oh, he misses the Guardian Angel.
Get that kill, and the Guardian Angel not really effective here. Warnuts in the background also going to go down to Vega Squadron. It seems like they found the fight they needed. QO desperately looking to be able to lock down on someone with his Scotty. Goes for Pasha, but is unable to get him. Now Solo kind of baited out with the cold embrace, but he will go down eventually. The rest of Vega Squadron start mounting a response, but the shackle shot doesn't latch, and that means now Maga's life is going to be forfeit as well. It goes from 2 pickoffs easily to then being forced to trade 2 heroes of their own. Vega Squadron, I thought that was going to be a good fight with the way they initiated that one, but it turns out the SF, it's just too big.
It was about as good of an idea as you were going to get, though, right? Like, there was no Aegis. You can't just keep giving up tower after tower, but I just realized how farmed QO is. Like, he's gone for this pure stats build. He opts to go for the Eye of Scotty instead of something like a BKB, and he just hits so hard, and he doesn't die anymore. Like, KP was late with that Guardian Angel, and they still won the fight. Like, that was an ideal fight for Vega, and it still doesn't go in their favor, and so they have to just go for the next.
As I say that, MVP Phoenix are still taking advantage of the clear control that they have over this game by pushing down more towers and getting more of a net worth lead, and it seems like a free hero as well. Mag is going to be stuck here, and from the side, Vega Squadron are actually going to try and mount a response, going straight for the Omni Knight. They do manage to take him out. 1-for-1 trade out so far. Solo's going to be the next target. Winter's Curse onto Febby. They pop him, but so too does the Winter Wyvern fall.
Yeah, the course from MVP, like you said, they're just not following right now. Like, there's just not enough damage coming on them. Look at that. That's a focus fire with amplified damage, and they still don't do enough.
Yeah, between the passive of Bristleback as well as just the natural tankiness of the hero. He's got Crimson Guard. He's got Plate Mail. I mean, Crimson Guard, Vanguard alone is just a really great way to be able to deal with the Wind Ranger's focus fire, right? Because it's timing. They just smoked up to the Roshan pit and literally just respawn. They get an Ice Shards to try and block out the rest of MVP Phoenix.
Well, they're committed for this.
He is fearless. He's going to try and intercept this one. He just is grabbed by the Wind Ranger. They manage to secure it and take down Febby at the same time. The Tombstone is a great position, but here comes Big Daddy QO. He lets loose the ultimate. Vega Squadron's already so low from dealing with March that they're all going to fall inside this Roshan pit if they're not careful.
There's so many zombies.
Managed to get 3 different stuns, and the Tombstone is still going to work. No one is still fighting up against both QO and March. Echo Slam gets laid out, finishes off the Wind Ranger. Mag is stuck in the corner with his Tombstone still going to work, but MVP, they're just not dying. They don't care about the Tombstone. These small sources of damage are nothing to them. Mag making the TP out doesn't quite get away. Our Winter Wyvern escapes, and so too does the Slardar, but in the end, despite the fact that Vega Squadron, in a way, had the success of managing to get Roshan and grab the... Yeah, they still don't have the Winter's Curse for another 30 seconds, so they don't really have a good way to be able to address Febby or that Omni Knight.
Oh, there's a
They're going to be
dagger
forced
now,
into something here. No one coming in from the side, start focusing down QO. You can see the synergy there between the amplified damage and focus fire doing a good amount of work, though March is still a big problem to deal with. Mag is actually gets cold embraced up. The tombstone is laid out, but it's instantly taken out by QO. And now Mag forced to use the Ghost Scepter on himself, but it seems like he's not getting out of here alive. Pasha gets a really good stun, but it just doesn't change the fact that Mag is still dead. Another great shackle shot, but now no one's going to be forced away. There goes the Winter's Curse laid out on the Febby. They will be able to finish him off and bring a couple of supports low, but the cores are still healthy as they've always been. Solo is now going to be the next target of March as he just keeps on marching forward. Solo now going to be susceptible to that QO ultimate and a couple more right clicks. Glimmer Cave manages to keep him alive, but it still doesn't change the fact that the melee Rax is down and MVP will make a clean escape.
What a turnaround that QO's had from game 1 to what he is now. Like in game 1, or game 2 actually, we saw him miss multiple.
They start focusing down that tier 3, focus fire being laid onto March, but he's very easily being healed by both KP and Febby, and he's still sitting over that 50% marker. Meanwhile, QO runs forward and actually threatens no one. They do have the Winter's Curse. They need to try and chain stun him down. QO gets hit by the snowball, but there goes the response from KP. He gets off a beautiful Guardian Angel, and the toss is already down and out from the counter initiation from Warnuts. He does get shackled up, and Vega are actually going to be able to pop him real quickly, but Pasha is now fighting up against both Febby and March in front of his fountain, and he's losing that fight. No one. He needs the cold embrace to be able to save him, but QO takes that opportunity to let loose another ultimate. No one makes the run away. Glimmer Cave trying to save him, but this time they will see him with the counter ward. Mag now trying to get back to his fountain as well. Will die to the last MKB strike from QO as well, and they turn their attention to that second lane of Rax as MVP seemingly moments away from their victory here in Game 3.
And once again, we see the same 3 heroes living throughout all of the fights. March isn't even touched right now. He's got full everything. Kyo's in the same position. KP opting to go for that Vlad's and that Blink Dagger. It's just so hard for them to get caught out of position. You saw him blink in this time. Guardian Angel, no response from Vegas. They just can't live anymore.
And now the Mega Creeps is going to be coming in soon. Melee Rax is already down and just the range Rax that's left. They now focus Pasha as he comes forward, calling the brace. Snowball trying to save him, but QO, he says, if you don't want to fight me, that's fine. I'll just take your range Rax and force Megas. And sure enough, there it is. Vega Squadron being forced back to their fountain with Megas on the way. Go ahead and call it. GG, well played. Congratulations, says Solo, as MVP Phoenix. After what was one of the most intense games that we've ever casted in game number 2, managed to take that game and take game 3 very convincingly to be the 16 team going to TI.
And how many games did they have to play just to get to this position? Last year, or the year before against Liquid, they came just short of getting into the main event. Now we see them here. March, who's probably going to retire after this tournament to do his military service,